What's going on, culés? Welcome back to BlaugranaZzon, your destination. Very good. What's going on, culés? Welcome back to BlaugranaZzon, your destination for all things Football Club Barcelona. Now, this isn't going to be one of those heated rants. I'm not going to lose my mind over this game. I'm not going to flip out. I'm not going to overreact. I'm not hitting the panic button just yet. We got to remember we're in October, and I would much rather this kind of loss that we had to PSG happen now rather than happen in, let's say, March, let's say April, right? Where we're winding down in the UCL, where we're getting closer and closer to having a picture of who the best in the world is. Last year, we saw Liverpool shine, we saw PSG shine, Barcelona obviously shining. But we're just not there yet. It's too early. It's way too early to have this kind of match. That's why in the draw, when it came out that we were going to face PSG, I was hoping it would be later. But it's fine that we're facing them this early. Obviously, this was this game. I saw many memes talking about this should be played in the hospital, considering how many people were missing. But for PSG, they were missing Kvaratskhelia. They were missing their whole front three, really. Due, Dembele. They were missing João Neves, and they were missing Marquinhos, right? But outside of that, they had their entire lineup, which I thought was still a pretty good lineup, right? All things considered. And a point that I made over and over again since this match is that front three, even though they're not the main front three, they have a lot of team playing time. They have a lot of time together. They've already gelled together, right? They've already been preparing to play without those guys because they've been out for a minute, right? And these aren't scrubs. I'm tired of that narrative that this PSG team has no bite, that this PSG team is only that starting 11 and nothing else. No, these guys have a good bench. They have a good academy. They have a world-class coach. Like, what else? And they have unlimited money. They have Saudi money. So, obviously, this PSG team is very dominant. They dominated Europe last year. I don't care what you say. They steamrolled everybody. No team got away from this PSG side. The only team I've seen close to being this PSG side is Barcelona. Obviously, I had a lot of faith in my guys, right? It's a given. But the way we lined up is Ferran Torres up front, Marcus Rashford, Dani Olmo, and Lamine Yamal. Behind them, we had Pedri and Frankie de Jong. And behind them, we had Gerard Martin, Pau Cubarsí, Eric Garcia, and Jules Koundé. And then in the goal, we had Chesney, because obviously Barcelona have had many injuries hitting them recently too. We were missing Joan Garcia, Alejandro Balde. This was his first game even being called back, right, into the squad. He just had like a couple minutes in the second half. We're missing Fermin Lopez, which we really could have used him this game. Dani Olmo was nowhere to be found. Obviously, Lewandowski hasn't been the same yet. He's not ready to play a full 90. And there were so many minutes that I was looking at Ferran Torres, and I was like, bro, Lewandowski would have made a pass there where Ferran is looking to shoot, but whatever. And obviously, we're missing Rafinha, who after this game, I'm noticing more and more how much we need Rafinha for those times that Lamine is just ineffective, right? Not having a bad game necessarily because he was cooking, but just starting to look ineffective. They're starting to figure him out. They're throwing multiple bodies at him. And we obviously needed Rafinha on the other side. Even though Marcus Rashford was cooking, don't get that wrong, by any stretch of the means. So let's go over this game, man. We had an early goal from Ferran Torres. It was like minute 19, I believe. Yeah, minute 19 exactly, which came from a beautiful pass from Lamine to Marcus Rashford. And then Rashford just pinpointing, finding Ferran Torres, where he just crashes into the goal, which I thought was fantastic. But right before that, there was a play where Lamine trivelas it to Ferran Torres. He goes around the keeper, fakes out Chevalier, goes around him, and I wish life could have stopped right there and let Ferran look to the left. Because if he would have looked left, he would have seen Marcus Rashford ready to run in for a pass and to get an easy goal, right? But Ferran doesn't do that. He shoots. He shoots, and I think it was Zabarny that just clears the ball. And I guarantee you, if Marquinhos was there, he does not clear that ball. That would have been a Ferran goal if Marquinhos was there. Which is another reason why I don't buy into the fact that Marquinhos was a big cornerstone, a big missing piece. Like, brother, no. Bro, he's unk. He's unk, and he's on his way out. He's not in his prime. He doesn't have young legs to be running and chasing. You think Marquinhos could have caught up to Ferran Torres? No, bro. But anyway, that play just pissed me off because it showed me that Ferran sometimes can be selfish with the goals, which is like, okay, sometimes we need that. But in this instance, brother, look up. Like, don't be so focused on trying to get yourself a goal from a Lamine pass, which obviously extraordinary passes. But sometimes you can fake out and look up. You see Marcus Rashford there. Marcus Rashford was having himself a good game, right? And that's another point of contention with Hansi Flick taking Marcus Rashford out. I don't think that worked out for us at all, right? But taking Pedri out, another big mistake. Taking Eric Garcia out, another big mistake. But I understand it because Eric Garcia was starting to look tired, bro. He fell down and he was grabbing his leg, and you don't want to risk a player running himself into the ground and risking an injury, right? Frankie de Jong had that really bad foul on Nuno Mendes, which, look, bad foul, yes. Deserving of a yellow card, yes. But do I understand it? Yes, bro. Because Nuno is so dangerous. We have to start talking about Nuno as the best left back in the world. This brother is 23 years old. He can defend. He can attack. What else do you want from him? He's going from the left back into the center to create for his team, bro. Because he realizes that there are people missing and someone needs to step up. If Nuno doesn't step up, bro, they don't have that attacking prowess coming in from their back line. They just don't. Nuno Mendes, best in the world, man. He gave such a clean... Sonny Mayo just had to tap that in, to be honest, because Nuno Mendes did everything. He came from the left back position all the way to the front and said, brother, have this. And by God, what did you want Chesney to do there? He can't make that brilliant save because it was just too tight of an angle and easy for Sonny Mayulu, really. Throughout the game, there were several instances where I wasn't a fan of how Barcelona was defending. Jules Koundé, he had a very... I hope this is one of those games that, Jules Koundé just puts behind him and looking forward, he can learn from this. I'm expecting that from him. He's one of the best right backs in the world. I really hope that he could bounce back from this. Dani Olmo, man. Why are you so streaky, bro? Like, he can be brilliant one moment and ass the next, man. And there was a good meme on Twitter that said, Danny, almost time to find a new job. I thought that was brilliant. I was laughing, which is all you can do in those instances, right? When a player in your team starts to completely sell the game, all you can do is laugh at the memes, bro. You got to find something funny in these moments. And thank God it's so early in the Champions League that we can still take these games and learn from them, right? They're not costing us anything just yet. But I think if this game ends 1-1, we're talking very, very differently about the game, right? That last minute goal, man, it was a dagger to the heart. It felt very much like that Inter goal, that last minute Inter goal last year. Me personally, I think it's offside. If you look at the slowdowns, bro, the moment that the pass comes from Hakimi, I believe it was, to Gonzalo Ramos, the moment he hits the ball to make the pass, Gonzalo's offside, bro. But whatever. I'm not here to cry about it. It's 2-1. Very narrow game. Obviously, my biggest takeaway is that Hansi Flick needs to do something about this highline, man. We beat Newcastle convincingly without really having to use the highline much, right? But that's because our midfield was controlling the game. Dani Olmo was a non-factor in this game. He had a good opportunity for goal, but if he had just slowed down and taken a breather for a second before he kicks, he would have gotten the goal. But we're hitting it right to their defenders, bro. Like, what is that? With no space or thinking either. And that it just really pissed me off. The same thing happened with Pedri too. And that's not to say that Pedri had a bad game. It's to say that Pedri had one bad moment in the game, sure. But when Pedri was subbed out of the game, bro, Vitinha was the best in the midfield after that. And, with Vitinha controlling the midfield, it gave PSG a little bit more possession. It gave them some more confidence. And ultimately, that led to the goal, the dagger in our hearts. I couldn't believe what I was seeing in that moment, to be quite honest with you. We got to talk about Pau Cubarsí, man, because that Seni Mayulu goal should not have happened that way. I think he was too concerned with Nuno, because Nuno was coming up fast, bro. He was running past players like they weren't even there. So I understand that Cubarsí got a little taken aback, trying to look one way. Oh, don't see the pass coming the other way. But, man, you got to be better, bro. You got to be better. I think next game he should be on the bench. I would have liked to see Araujo in there, And I know people like to clown on Araujo, but he's been having a pretty good campaign this year so far. I say so far. Yeah, I would have liked to see Araujo there instead. I definitely think Gerard Martin needs more development. Balde had 20, 25 minutes, and I think he looked better. But still, non-factors, right? I definitely think that Rashford coming off was a big mistake because Rashford was the one creating a lot, right? He has experience facing this PSG team, bro. He beat them with Man United. He almost beat them with Aston Villa. And now he's here with us. We got to use Rashford more. And people have been saying that Lamine Yamal shouldn't have taken that free kick. It should be Rashford. And I agree. I think Rashford has more experience with them. He has more accuracy. There's more power in his shot. I think we got to start looking at Rashford to be our main free kick taker. Get him training more with those free kicks because historically he's a good free kick taker. But another big takeaway is that Luis Enrique coached circles around Hansi Flick, bro. Circles. Because Luis Enrique could adapt during the game, right? Which is something I don't think Hansi Flick was doing during this game. Maybe he thought that making these subs is going to change the game, change the tempo, give us the ball some more. But it did the exact opposite, bro. It did the exact opposite. This game made it seem like we learned nothing from the Inter loss. And that pisses me off a little bit, but it's still early, right? It's early enough that it can be instilled into our players that when you're up or when you have possession, bro, keep the ball. Stop losing the ball. Barça Volume made this point that during the second half, bro, we couldn't string 3 passes together. We kept getting dispossessed. And I think after Pedri came out of the game, it got worse and worse and worse. Luis Enrique knows our team inside and out. He always says that he watches every Barça game, so I'm sure he already prepared a game plan for us, right? He was ready for whoever was going to start, for whoever was going to be benched. I'm sure he gave his guys all the secrets to Barcelona, right? Because we have the same style of play, that tiki-taka style of play where we're trying to keep the ball. And if you can break that style of play, bro, you figured us out, right? So I think Hansi Flick needs to get better in that sense. We need to stop talking about this PSG team like they're nobody outside of the starting 11, like they're nobody without Dembele or Kvaratskhelia, bro. They are much more than those two guys. They're much more than their front three. Luis Enrique is a world-class coach. I'm convinced if Luis Enrique goes to Manchester United, he could turn them into contenders in one season, bro. That's how good Luis Enrique is, man. We got to stop talking down on that guy's name just because things didn't go so well with the Spanish national team. He still won them a gold medal. So that guy is not a scrub, bro. He's done it at the highest level. He won a treble with PSG. He won one with Barcelona. He's a legend in both these clubs. But, man, it was just a very heartbreaking loss. But we can't let it rattle us. As culés, we got to take this and learn from it. Let everyone have their banter. Let everyone have their fun right now. Let Real Madrid talk, which I don't even know why you're there talking, brother. You worry about being the best team in Madrid first, then you can talk to me, bro. But never, never, never let them tell you that we're not the best team in the world, because we are. We could have definitely won this game if not for some tactical problems and the substitutions that were made by Hansi Flick. I'm going to credit this loss to Hansi Flick, bro, because something needs to change with this high line. Something needs to change tactically. And I want you guys to get in the comments if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. What would you guys have done different? Do you guys take off Marcus Rashford? Because honestly, he should have been man of the match, bro. If this game ended 1-1, Marcus Rashford or Eric Garcia is easily man of the match. But I want to know what you guys think in those comments. Get in there. Let me know what y'all think. Next game for Barcelona this weekend is against Sevilla. There will be a match preview on my channel very, very soon about that. Thank you guys so much for tuning into BlaugranaZzon and VISCA BARÇA.